I'd just like to thank John Legend's wife, Chrissy Teigen, for bringing him here today. Turns out there's nothing she loves more than doing personal favors for her Instagram followers.
Well, Marge, you did call the picture I posted of my kids with ketchup on their faces adorbs.
It was. It was totes adorbs.
Baby, we gotta get going. We're gonna be late for the launch party for our couple's perfume.
I'm talking to my online friend, IRL. Go charge the kids' iPads.
Yo, you know when you're an EGOT legend, you made it. But it reaches a whole nother level when you become featured on The Simpsons. That's a whole different stratosphere. I can't say enough. Just another stratosphere. That's a different dimension. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't say enough how much I've enjoyed watching the evolution of this man's career, in his life, in his activism. He's joined us today on Juneteenth, which is a special day. The one and only legendary, iconic John Legend. Big round of applause for John Legend.
How y'all doing? Good
Hey,
to talk
hey.
to you.
Good to talk to you too, John, man. Do these things ever get basic for you? Like when you hear yourself on The Simpsons? Like, come on, man. Everybody grew up watching The Simpsons, man. Does that mean anything anymore? Was it a check?
It's surreal, man. I think, like you said, you made it when. One of them is The Simpsons, and one of them is Sesame Street. So I've been able to do both of those. That's how I knew I made it.
Wow, The Simpsons and Sesame Street.
Is big.
Sesame Street big.
Hey, John, what's up? It's Heather. Yeah, back
How
in
you
the
doing,
day,
Heather?
I'm good, family. I'm good. Love to you and the family. Back in the days, it used to
Thank
be
you.
Soul Train. It's like if you was on Soul Train, like you made
Yes.
it. Everybody you could do a million shows, but you come home, you'd be like, Mom, I'm going to be on Soul Train. They told the whole family, it's like that was the big deal. And you're right. It's like Sesame Street, one of those staples, no matter how many experience you have or how old you are, there's something about Sesame Street in our childhood that just connects us forever. So yeah, that would be a big deal. That's up there with Soul Train.
But I'll tell you, the first day I knew I had made it, truly, early in my career, it was back in 2005. My first album, Get Lifted, had just come out.
Mm-hmm.
Ordinary People was doing pretty well. And the same day, I'm driving around New York, just doing promo and stuff. And Oprah called me and Magic Johnson called me the same day to invite me to perform for them. And I'm like, wow, I'm actually famous now. Oprah and Magic Johnson just called me on the same day, and my album just came out. It was pretty crazy. That was like my first pinch me moment in my career where I'm like, okay, this is happening.
Wow.
Yo.
Did they talk to you like that? Because here's the thing, man. It's interesting when you meet people you kind of grew up, admiring and aspiring to be like. And then you have these conversations, and you hear the regular voice, and you hear the regular them.
Oprah sounded like Oprah,
Right.
I'm going to tell you, she did.
Oh, she sounded like Oprah?
She sounded like Oprah.
Did they confront you like they knew you already?
Well, no, they introduced themselves to me. I'm like, I know who you are. But they were both asking me to do separate events at their homes. Oprah was doing that Legends Ball. Do you remember that? That's what she did, the Legends Weekend and everything, where she invited all the black women that she had looked up to over the years to come and be honored. And then she asked me to perform at it. And then Magic was doing a charity for his foundation, a charity event in his backyard, and he wanted me to come perform at that. So I got calls the same day from two of my, heroes, and it was pretty crazy.
What would you John Legend has joined us, by the way. You got an incredible album, Bigger Love, that's out today with some incredible artwork. How did you come up with the cover?
Well, as we were in the middle of quarantine and everything, I was already thinking maybe we should have someone illustrate the cover instead of me posing for new pictures, because we were not even, letting photographers come to the house. We weren't leaving the house. So I was like, we should do some beautiful artwork. And I wanted something that really represented the energy of the album, something colorful, something soulful, something that felt joyful. And we looked at a few different artists' work and reached out to Charlie Palmer, who's really a great portrait artist, who does these beautiful portraits. A lot of them use this kind of floral theme that you see on my album. And we reached out to him and asked him if he was interested in creating the album art, and he did. And it came out so beautifully. I'm just so happy he was a part of the project.
Yeah, he gave a lot of, you got to see it, Heather. He gave a lot of help to John's beard.
Yeah, he get it up nice. Give it a nice light up, everything.
Cheekbones looking real Shaka Zulu. You know, I love it, man. This is great. And then also, a good friend of mine, you know, I grew up with in Oakland, California, and might be one of the funniest people you're ever going to meet behind the scenes, Raphael Saadiq. And you
yeah, man, I love that dude. I love Raphael. He I've been working with him since back on my second album. We did a song called Show Me on my album Once Again. And I just always have loved him as a musician. You know, of course he did Tony. Of course he had solo music. He had Lucy Pearl, but then he's also produced so many great artists, Solange, D'Angelo, Mary J., like just so many of our favorite R&B and soul artists. He's been a part of their music for years. And so it's like, you know, he's just a legend in soul music. And we have worked together on my Christmas album, which came out really beautifully in 2018 and 2019. And we were just in a nice groove. I was like, let's just keep working on more music together. And so I asked him to executive produce the album. And so we worked together. I worked with other producers and other writers, but with Raphael, he was just a good sounding board. I could play him everything, and he helped me pick the songs that would make the album. He helped me finish all the songs so that they had a cohesive sound. And he's just all around made everything better by his musical craftsmanship and his ability to play and his ability to hire the best musicians. He's just a great person to work with.
How do you feel about this Bigger Love album? It's your 7th album.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a 7th album, you know. And is it still refreshing to you? Is it a labor of love, or can you hear your own growth when you know?
I do hear the growth. A part of it is like just learning how to be a better artist, learning how to make the most of your own talents, but also bringing other people into the process that can help you make it even better. And then is it a labor of love? Oh, man, like I can't tell you how much mental energy and heart and soul that I pour into every album. It's truly, I don't take anything for granted. I don't care about any awards I've won. When it comes to time to make a new album, I have to prove myself over and over again. And so that is what mentality I have whenever I'm making a new album. I have to prove myself again. And no one's going to buy it just because they love the last one. They're going to check it out maybe, but they're not going to love it and listen to it a lot unless you give them something to love and listen to. So I'm trying to prove myself every time.
John Legend is here.
John, is that a challenge that invigorates you all the time, or is that a challenge that sometimes can make you feel doubtful when you go into the studio again?
Wait, hold up, Tracy. Hold up. Who was
that? Miles was saying hi.
That's Miles. Can I say hi to him? Can we say hi?
Saying hi too. They insist on me not having any quiet time to do this interview. But
so cute. We welcome the greeting.
But it is a challenge. I think you have to put to yourself every time you do a new project. If you really care about making music that's vital and that's urgent and that's meaningful to people, you got to challenge yourself every time to push yourself to be as good as you can possibly be. Try to beat yourself. But even if you don't beat yourself, at least try to be the best version of yourself that you can be at this time in your life.
John Legend is here. Chris is on the line from Victoria. Chris, you got a question?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's good this morning? What's good?
Oh, what's good? Good morning. How you doing?
What's going on?
Thanks, you guys. Hey, you were voted sexiest man alive. You put any stock in that? I mean, you're good looking, but you're not the sexiest man alive.
I agree. I completely agree. I don't put much stock into it.
I knew you'd be honest.
It was a fun magazine cover to shoot, but other than that, I don't take it too seriously.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay.
That's like Jay winning a beauty contest.
Okay. Chris is
All
funny.
right.
You
Okay.
hear this guy?
What's going on?
Stop it.
You got a song on the album called "Focused," and in the first line, I can't remember the lyrics, but I remember they stood out to me. It says something about all of these people coming in your face, all these ladies trying to take your place. But does that really happen? Like after you got the sexiest man alive, did you find that your female count, even though you married and nobody can really, don't mess with Chrissy? You know what I mean? But that's my family. You can't mess with Chrissy. But did you see the, a growth in the female attention you were getting?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Sway, because I've been on quarantine the last few months. I haven't seen any other human beings.
There you
Chrissy
go.
spoken like a true Teganin. All right. Madison, you're on the line from West Virginia. You got a question for John?
Yes. Hi, John Legend. Okay. My name is
How you
Madison,
doing?
and I currently attend Alabama State University.
Oh,
And
dope.
my question is, if you had a chance to donate to any HBCU, which HBCU would you donate to?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I would donate to quite a few. Definitely Morehouse and Spelman. I have a lot of good friends that are alumni from there, and I just spoke and sang for Morehouse Medical School's graduation that they had during the quarantine time. But there's a lot of colleges that we can all support and also give to the college fund as well to make sure that it's spread throughout a lot of the HBCUs.
Okay, Madison. Hey, Madison, you gonna get the new album? It's a 7-1.
Yeah, I'm trying to now. I've got
Okay.
house music right now.
Okay, there you go. All right, you're a citizen, Madison.
Sway in the morning.
Heather, earlier this week you were talking about what kind of libations you were gonna take part with during tonight's Versus with John Legend.
I know. I'm excited. Well, the Juneteenth celebration with John Legend and Alicia Keys. Like, I'm excited about it. There's something about this, and all of the verses are dope, John. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. All of them have just been so dope. But there's just been, like, this movement, I think, going on in our spirits as well. It's not just what we seeing outside, but just in our spirits, we've just been feeling and expressing so much, and music just is hitting different right now. Like, we're hearing songs in ways that we heard it a million times, but it's just hitting different. And I think the opportunity tonight to hear you and Alicia go back and forth and just play is gonna be good, man. Like, I'm excited, I'm ready, I'm amped. I'm like, don't bother me. I'm just all ready for this. I've been working on a drink called it's a Wiz Khalifa, from a Wiz Khalifa song called Still Wiz. So obviously it's green, it's Wiz Khalifa. So I'm gonna be in all my vibes listening to this joint tonight. I'm excited for it. Have you been nervous about it? I mean, although this music has been played, we heard it. Have you been nervous leading up to this?
I haven't. I've been very excited, though. I'm still working on my playlist. I'm going to solidify it this afternoon, but some of it is going to just be playing it by ear and responding to Alicia and just vibing with what's going on in the room. A lot of it we're going to play live, quite a bit of the songs.
Yeah.
We're also going to push play and play some of the records as well. It's just going to be a real musical experience. It's going to be all about love, all about celebrating our music and celebrating our culture on this special Juneteenth edition.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all communicate at all? Both you guys are world class.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So have y'all set a game plan, or like we want to make sure, not without telling each other the songs you're going to play, but we want to make sure the energy comes off like this, or
of course, her husband Swizz Beats is one of the originators of Versus anyway, along with Timbaland. And I've talked with Swizz on the phone. I've talked with Alicia, and we're all on the same page with the kind of energy we bring into the event, and we just wanted it to be about love and about celebration. And we're going to play our joints, you know?
John Legend is on the phone, and, for the past few weeks, the entire country has been impacted by not only the pandemic, but the recent deaths of a numerous amount of African Americans at the hands of police officers.
Yeah.
And I know that you were among the few that signed an open letter calling for police budgets to be cut, but re-administrated, not cut in full. And recently we saw the GOP release their police reform suggestions, I call them. What did you think of what they wanted to do in the ways of police reform? Was it enough?
Of course it's not enough. And I think we've been tinkering around the little edges of reform for too long, and it's time to do something real. One of those things, I think, is cutting police budgets down and spending some of that money, that precious money that's coming into our city's tax base, spend it on things that are more edifying for the community. You know, when we have folks that don't have proper housing, folks that don't have proper mental health care and drug treatment, and folks that don't have proper schools for their kids to go to and preschools for their kids to go to, why are we spending more money trying to clean up the mess that we've allowed to be made instead of preventing the mess from being made in the first place? So I feel like we should invest more money in our communities into things that will prevent people from going down the wrong path in the first place, rather than spending the money on police and jails and prisons that are attempting to clean up the mess that we as a society have made in too many communities.
John Legend, we've been hearing a lot of feedback from, fans or from just the public, and in some cases, a lot of attacks towards celebrities who haven't really been vocal or visual in protest right in these times, and, we recently saw the back and forth between No Name and J. Cole, and some people calling out other artists for what they believe they're not doing. What are your thoughts on that? What messaging? Because you're a worldwide celebrity. I don't know if anybody's called you out, but you've been very active. But what would you want to say to our community about that?
Well, one, you don't always know what people are doing behind the scenes. You don't know what they're donating to. You don't know who they're speaking with, if they're doing work behind the scenes. So be careful that just because you're not seeing what they're doing on social media doesn't mean they're not doing something. But that being said, not every artist is going to be an activist. I personally am, and I know a lot of artists that I love over the years have been, and it's something I've been passionate about since the very beginning of my career. And even before I had a career, I knew that that was part of what my mission as an artist would be to do, was to use my success to help my community, to speak out, because I saw artists that did that, growing up. People like Stevie Wonder or Nina Simone or Aretha Franklin or Harry Belafonte, like artists that just always stood for our people and used their position to make sure that our people got justice and equality in this country. And so I always thought that was going to be part of my mission as an artist. But not every artist is that person, They haven't done the work. They haven't been speaking to activists and organizers like I have. They haven't been doing the reading I've been doing. And you can't expect every artist to have that kind of range and depth in these issues. But, you just know which artists they are and which artists they aren't. And, you can make your own decisions accordingly. If you only want to support artists that are active like that, you can make that choice. Some artists, they might make some bops, but they're not really that informed about what's going on with politics. And you just got to know their place in your life.
Yeah. John Legend, I like saying your whole name, man. It feels powerful. Like
it's one of those names you got to say the first and last.
You got to say the first and the last name. John Legend, Mark, what up? Marquin? Is it Marquette? Marquin?
No. What's going on? It's Marquette. I called the other day trying to sell you guys to come to North Carolina and do your bars.
Yeah.
I got back through again. I just want to say something to Mr. Legend. Your last name says it all, man. I'm so glad you're doing something with Alicia Keys, because you guys compliment each other. You're like the female version of her. She's the male version of you. You guys are so musically talented, brother. It's just a pleasure to be on the phone with you. You know what I'm saying? And,
my pleasure, man.
Oh, man. I don't even know what to say right now, but I remember. What was I going to say? It's coming to me. Hold on. I've been waiting.
Wait, hold on. When you get it together, I'm gonna come right back. Ray in South Carolina. Mark.
What how y'all doing?
What up, Ray? How you doing?
Hey, Ray, what's poppin',
I'm doing
Ray?
all right. Hey, baby, happy Juneteenth to y'all now. Yeah.
You know it.
You got it. John, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my brother. I'm doing fine, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm a big fan, man. How was it working with Kanye, man, when you first came out, man? How was that?
Oh, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Kanye and our collaborations. I feel like he really made my career happen at the beginning of my career. Sway was there for a lot of it. We collaborated on so much. He helped me by putting me on different records with other artists, whether it was like Slum Village, Dilated Peoples, Jay-Z, even Alicia Keys, before I even had an album out. And then produced, some of my biggest songs, shot the video for Ordinary People. He's just always been a huge part of my career, and I wouldn't be where I am in my career right now without him.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Blessings, man. So another question I got for you.
No, Ray. You get one, Ray. Ray. You know, we got to share with the citizenship. You're a citizen, man.
It's Juneteenth, yo.
Okay, bro. Come on, Ray. Let everybody else get in there, man.
What in the world did we got calling to? You know, it's like, what is this? It's a party
hungry
jar
for John.
always.
Avita, good morning. How you doing? She's in Georgia.
What's up?
Hey, Avita.
Hi.
Avita, good morning.
Hey, Vita.
Good morning. How are you all over there?
Doing great.
Great. I'm sorry. I'm in shock that I'm on the line with y'all, and I'm very happy to be here. And I love you, John Legend. I love your music. It's so mellow. It's so sweet and cool, and that's what we need in the world right now. I would love to hear you remake Ordinary People, make it a more 2020 version because black people, we're just ordinary people, and we want to live. We don't want knees on our necks. We don't want to be looked at upon as a race or a color, but just people. And I just love you. I love your music, and thank you for doing what you're doing. We need more artists like you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, Avita. Thank you. You're a citizen.
Let's Sway in the morning.
All right. You got a lot of phone calls right here. John, you're also doing this 1 hour variety special, John Legend and Family, A Bigger Love Father's Day. This is Sunday at 8 p.m. on ABC. This ain't on YouTube, dog.
It's on ABC. We filmed it last week, and we got a lot of celebrity dads to join in, from Anthony Anderson to Neo to Snoop. We got a lot of comedians as well. Stevie Wonder joined us for a funny segment. Common joined us. So we had a lot of fun making it. I'm going to play some music from the new album and some beautiful live performances, and then got some great comedy moments as well.
Okay, cool. I'll be watching. I'm a dad. Next time you do one, if you need my services, I'm here for you, John.
I got you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You going to take your shirt off, Sway?
I could take my shirt off. I don't know what that's going to do for the ratings, but
John, when we had the caller who mentioned Kanye, it reminded me of when GLC was on Van Lathan's podcast, and he mentioned that Kanye was actually done wearing the Make America Great Again hat, that he actually had showed up to his crib with like boxes of it and said that he was never going to wear it again. And I remember that you were one of the people coming as a friend, coming as family, but still coming against the hat. Did you have anything to do with that? With him being done with it? He said that he was just
not in that immediate moment. I didn't. I'm sure all of the conversations people have had with him over the past couple of years have probably influenced that decision. And I haven't talked to him specifically about him not wearing it anymore recently. But, he probably heard from enough folks and then keep seeing what's going on in the country. I wouldn't blame him for having a change of heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John, man, it's always great talking with you, man. You have a beautiful family. Is Chrissy there? Is Chrissy home?
She is home. She's home. The kids are home. Everybody's here.
Tell her I said hi. What orders have she given you during quarantine? I feel like she writes out your daily schedule.
She wishes, actually, especially with all this promo I've been doing. She would probably rewrite the schedule quite differently. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of promo in the past few weeks. But before then, the kids take up so much of our time and our energy, and we just try to keep them entertained. They're just so happy they get to hang out with us all the time. So they're in heaven. But we try to keep it fun for them, and Chrissy's great at doing that for them.
Yeah,
and
man.
I also love how, as a power couple, y'all have the whole dinner table on lock, because Chrissy obviously can cook whatever type of delicious recipe from her cookbooks. But then also for John Legend, I just tried your rosé. I'm not sure if it's LVE or Love, but
yeah,
Heather,
LVE.
so
You can call it either one, though.
Okay, it's so good. Me and my boyfriend, we got
Thank
it
you.
as a gift, and I just kept thinking, like, what a stellar pairing this is, to have Chrissy with the food and now John with the pour-up. So congratulations.
John got a rosé out?
And you can listen to my
it's
new
really
album while
good.
you're having dinner. It's perfect.
Wow. When did the rosé come out, John? I didn't know about the rosé.
It's been a couple years now. This will be our third summer. Yeah, this will be our third summer.
That's dope. Y'all pick it up, because you know what? Just last Saturday, we were all celebrating National Rosé Day, and there's this theory, Sway, because Sway is not a big drinker. I try to get him to appreciate every now and then, but there's this notion that men can't drink rosé, like it's more of a light feminine drink, but it's so not the case. When you find a really good rosé that you like and you love, you can have it even as a male, and it's nice, and it pairs with so many different things. So I didn't know that. I'll definitely support John. Thank you, Tracy.
And
for telling me about that.
if you don't like rosé, I have a red, I have a Cabernet and another red blend, and then I have a Chardonnay as well, and I have some bubbly. So LVE's got you covered, even if you don't drink rosé.
Okay, no, I'm definitely support. That's fire. Okay, that's love.
John, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. We're going to play this song, Actions. And but the new album, Bigger Love, is incredible. It's a powerful album.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for what you do for the community. Tell the family you have beautiful kids, bro. And tell Chrissy, tell the sister I said hello. Enjoy your day, okay? John Legend.
Love to all y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
To you too.
Check them on Versus tonight. What time it come on tonight?
8.
8 o'clock
p.m.
Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific.
I'm
My
ready.
man, John Legend. Take care.